Picture this. You're King Charles, you've got a cool £640 million in the bank. The taxpayers are about to hand you another £170 million. And your wife Camilla is reportedly making sneaky last-minute changes to your will that could leave Harry with about as much inheritance as a soggy digestive biscuit. Oh yes, you heard that right. While most of us are arguing over who gets Nan's china set, the royals are playing chess with hundreds of millions of pounds, and frankly, it's more entertaining than EastEnders. I'm about to break down the most explosive royal money moves that have happened just this week. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll understand why Harry might want to start a GoFundMe page. Welcome back to Royal Cookies, where we serve up the juiciest royal gossip with a side of heart-wrenching humanity. I'm your host, and today we're diving into Cressida Bono's latest bombshell. And trust me, you're going to need tissues for this one. Let's start with the absolute bombshell that dropped this week. Because apparently, being king isn't expensive enough already. The sovereign grant, that's the fancy name for taxpayer money that keeps the royals in their golden carriages, is about to jump from £110 million to a whopping £170 million for the 2025 to 2026 year. Now, before you start calculating how many years of your mortgage that could pay off, let me put this in perspective. The grant is paid for by the public and used for royal spending. The grant will rise to around $170 million for the 2025 to 2026 year. The grant pays for upkeep and will help the royal family on their official visits, upkeep of royal residences, and paying their staff. That's like getting a £60 million raise overnight. Although, plot twist, Charles's personal salary is staying exactly the same. It's like being the CEO of a company that just got a massive budget increase, but you're still getting paid the same weekly wage as the office intern. The irony is delicious. But what does this money actually do, you ask? Well, it's going toward upkeep of royal residences, because apparently, Buckingham Palace doesn't clean itself, and those 775 rooms don't just hoover themselves. We're talking about funding 1,900 public engagements and hosting 93,000 guests at 828 events. That's more parties than a university freshers week. Because while Charles is counting his millions, someone very close to him is apparently making some rather strategic moves behind the scenes. And that someone? Well, let's just say she's got a crown and some very specific ideas about who deserves what. And by strategic adjustments, I mean potentially giving Harry the royal equivalent of being left a fiver and a thoughts and prayers card. The reports suggest that these changes could minimize Harry's inheritance, which in royal speak basically means Harry's getting about as much as a charity shop donation. Think of it like this. Imagine you're dividing up a massive chocolate cake, and instead of everyone getting equal slices, some people get generous portions while others get the crumbs that fell on the floor. Except this cake is worth hundreds of millions of pounds, and the crumbs might still be worth more than most people's houses. The plot thickens because these changes would heavily favor, surprise, William, Kate, and their children. It's like a royal game of Monopoly where some players start with Mayfair and Park Lane, while others get stuck with the Brown properties and a get-out-of-jail-free card that's already been used. But wait, there's more. The reports also suggest that Camilla's son, Tom Parker Bowles, who's Charles's stepson and godson, talk about covering all your bases, is also being considered for a notable share. It's like the royal equivalent of making sure your favorite nephew gets the good stuff while your other relatives get the leftover Christmas pudding from 1987. Now, you might be thinking, surely this is just gossip mill nonsense. But when you consider what Charles has inherited and what's actually at stake here, the numbers become absolutely mind-blowing. Let's talk numbers that'll make your head spin faster than a washing machine on the fritz. King Charles has risen through the ranks of Britain's wealthiest, making the Sunday Times rich list with a personal fortune now estimated at £640 million. That's not including the Crown estate. Mind you, that's his personal piggy bank. And speaking of property, let's talk about what Camilla might actually get her hands on, because the Queen Consort's shopping list is rather impressive. Now, let's discuss what happens to our Queen Camilla if she outlives Charles. Because apparently, being a Dowager Queen comes with some rather nice perks. Assuming she outlives King Charles, Queen Camilla would most likely take on the role of Queen Dowager following his death. As his wife, Queen Camilla could possibly expect to inherit various assets and properties accumulated during their marriage. But here's what's fascinating. Camilla already has her own gorgeous home, Ray Mill House in Wiltshire, which she's maintained throughout her marriage to Charles. It's like having a backup mansion just in case your primary palace gets a bit too crowded with staff and security. The reports suggest that Queen Camilla will likely receive financial provisions to maintain her lifestyle and support her official duties as a member of the royal family, which in royal speak means she'll be absolutely fine, thank you very much. It's like the ultimate pension plan, isn't it? Most of us are hoping our workplace pension will stretch to cover a nice caravan in Skegness, while Camilla's looking at potentially inheriting properties worth over £100 million. Talk about different retirement goals. But while Camilla's future looks rather rosy, there's one member of the royal family whose inheritance prospects might be looking a bit more, shall we say, uncertain? And that brings us to the elephant in the room. Right, let's address the royal elephant in the room. Prince Harry's potential inheritance, or as it's looking increasingly likely, his potential lack thereof. The reports suggest that Camilla's influence on Charles' will could significantly minimize Harry's inheritance. Now, when royals say minimize, they don't mean he'll get slightly less. They mean he might get about as much as a commemorative tea towel from the gift shop. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to know if you're Team Sophie or if you think I'm seeing green where there's just good fashion sense. If you're obsessed with royal strategy and environmental impact like I am, make sure you're subscribed to Royal Cookies because we're serving up the most sustainable royal content on YouTube. And remember, in a world full of fast fashion and royal scandals, sometimes the most revolutionary thing you can do is wear your values on your sleeve, preferably in a gorgeous shade of green. Sophie's proving that environmental activism isn't just about what you do, it's about who you become. Until next time, keep munching on those eco-friendly royal cookies.